If you've ever caught yourself in the loop of I'm broken, I'm not enough, I'm a failure, I'm a mess, then this video is for you. And maybe you've already watched the first video I made about this topic, then this is the next step. And if you're starting here, that's perfectly fine too. This practice will meet you exactly where you are. But first, let's get something clear. I'm not here to fix you. And I'm not here to tell you just love yourself more or you're not broken. This is not about words. I'm here to help you see with honesty and clarity that the story you've been carrying for years is not the truth of who you are. It's only how you see yourself. And how we see ourselves becomes how we live. And today, I want to guide you through a process that helps you shift that perception and that story at the root. And this isn't another pep talk. It's not about promising a quick healing. It's just one conversation with yourself, and I will guide you. Let's break that loop gently. Let's turn it into clarity, awareness, and maybe even love. Okay, so for this, you will want your journal or download the PDF I've prepared for you, but stay with me until the end. And maybe you prefer to pause the video after each step we go through and write your answers as we go, or you prefer to watch the whole video first and then sit down to journal right after while everything is still fresh. Either way works beautifully if you stay with it. All right, let's begin. Step number 1, identify the painful belief. So let's start here and get really honest and really specific. What exactly do you see in yourself that feels broken or that's why you feel like a failure? Say it out loud and write it down. It might sound like, I always sabotage myself, or I'm too much, too emotional, too intense, I'm a mess, I never finish anything, or I don't like myself, or even I hate myself. Whatever comes up, just name it. And this isn't about judgment, we won't stay here, but it's about awareness. And that's how transformation and healing starts. Okay, pick one for now. The one that stings a little, the one that feels too familiar, very painful, and write it down. And later you can return to complete the process for the next belief and the other beliefs. Okay, step number 2, find the opposite. Now ask yourself, where and when are you the opposite? And now you say, well, I'm always a mess. Really? Is that really true always? Maybe not when you are creating art. Maybe not when you are helping a friend, or holding your child, or writing in your journal. Maybe not when you are organizing your books, or when you are in deep thought, or when you're giving advice to others. Even a single tiny moment counts, everything counts, because you are not just one thing. And this question helps to loosen the grip of the label. Step number 3, look for the hidden wisdom. So now we go deeper by getting curious. If that old part of you, the one that feels like a mess or like a failure, could speak, what would it say? What was it trying to protect you? What is it here for? What purpose might this pattern or trait have? If you sabotage, for example, what is it protecting you from? If you feel like a mess, how might that have been your nervous system saying, I'm overwhelmed? I don't feel safe. What did this version of you help you avoid or make space for? Maybe it kept you from burnout. Maybe it slowed you down when life was too fast. Maybe it protected you from criticism by never letting you put yourself out there. What deeper truth did it try to point me toward? Write what comes. And this is how we stop seeing the pattern as the enemy and start seeing it as a messenger. And this is how we start to dismantle the shame. Step number 4, the mirror question. Now, this one is very powerful. Who do you admire who's also struggled with this and you don't judge them for it? Maybe a friend who spirals sometimes, but you love their depth. Maybe someone online who is raw and real and authentic about their mental health, and you actually feel inspired by their vulnerability. Could you offer yourself the same grace? And if your mind says, well, but no one is as much of a mess as me, then pause and ask yourself, if my best friend, my sister, my child came to me and said, I hate myself, I always sabotage things, I'm a mess, what would you do and say? Would you agree and say, yes, you're right, you're a failure? Or would you say something like, oh, I'm sorry that you feel that way. You're overwhelmed. You're trying the best you can, and I love you. So the question here is, why can't you offer the same compassion to yourself? Now breathe that in and write what you notice. And also remember, there is no wrong or right. Just let everything come up that wants to come up. Step 5, find the hidden gift. Now, go back to a time when something didn't work out, something that you call a failure, a fall, a messy, painful chapter in your life, and ask, if I hadn't failed back then, what might I have missed out on? If that thing that you call a failure had never happened, what might you have missed? Maybe if the business hadn't collapsed, you'd still be stuck in something that wasn't aligned. Or maybe if the relationship hadn't ended, you wouldn't have begun this path of self connection. Or maybe if you hadn't broken down, you would have never broken open. What did that failure make space for? Write the answer. This is the moment where the inner story starts gently to shift. Step number 6, who benefited? And this one might surprise you. Who benefited, even in the smallest way, from the version of you that you've been judging? Maybe a child got to see your vulnerability and learned that it's okay to fail. Maybe a friend had a chance to show up for you and felt needed. Maybe someone felt less alone because you were honest and real. Even the messiest versions of us leave trails of light we rarely notice. Who received something, no matter how small, from that version of you that you don't like. Write it down. Step number 7. Who have you become because of this? This is big. What strength have you developed exactly because of this struggle? For example, I've become more resilient. I've become more reflective, more aware. I've developed more empathy because I can sit now with people in their darkness. Or I've become more honest. I've become deeply self-aware. I've stopped judging others so harshly. Or I've started listening inside of me. Now take your time for this and write down every trait this journey has carved into your soul. This is identity reformation. This is you becoming. Step number 8, rewriting the inner narrative. What's true now? Pause for a moment, and now read your original sentence again, your original judgment about yourself. I'm a mess, I'm broken, I always sabotage. Whatever you wrote, look at it and feel into it. Does it now feel the same? Like the full truth? Or is something softer coming through? Maybe now it can transform and sound more like, I've been hurting, but I'm learning. I'm not broken, but I'm healing. I'm not a mess, but I'm more aware than I've ever been before. And you don't need to force a sentence here. Just stay there in stillness and let it rise. When it comes, write it down. Say it out loud. And let it settle in your body. This is how you learn to see differently. You don't have to believe it all yet. Just stay curious. Just come back to these questions whenever you fall into the loop. And if today even one belief softened a tiny bit, if one breath felt differently, then something transformational has already begun. Remember, you are not alone. You are not too far gone. And you are so much more than the story you have been carrying. I'll be right here, holding the mirror until you can see it for yourself. And again, I've created this free PDF for you to download with all the questions we explored today. It's waiting for you just below the video. And if you ever feel you need more guidance, I'm here for you. I'm sending you so much love, and I see you next time.